have a meaty defense, but guess what, blood? We have a lot of goals in this team. And when we get Victor as well, if we get Victor, don't let me finish above certain teams, you know. Monts, don't let me finish above you, you know. You gooners, somehow, bro, if I finish above you, I'll be on a different villain arc, bro, because I've been getting fried the past 2 years. Fried. You know what I'm saying? All of us. The media wants to batter us every single week. But I'm seeing bare teams now. Oh, I'll take this guy from Chelsea. I'll take that guy from Chelsea. So why is it every time we come on stream, you don't talk about our players like they're from Wickham? Why? You hate us that much? LB, enjoy your time with Pep, because your time's going to come soon. Enjoy this little thing you got going on. You know what I'm saying? I know what's marinating at my club. I know what's cooking in the back at my club. Get in.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to MHF. Lots to talk about. Is Pep Guardiola turning a corner now? Is Pep Guardiola turning a corner? Are they going to chase Arsenal in this league title? Is Saka still world class? And also, the comparison between Rice and Rodri, they came in front of each other. Rice, Zubamendi versus Rodri, Bernardo Silva. Liam Rosenior under pressure. Chelsea might actually sack the guy before the end of the season because they are in danger of missing out on Champions League football. Liam Rosenior is one of the most deluded coaches out there, of course. Most deluded coaches out there. And Liverpool are getting Xabi Alonso. It is confirmed by Florian Wirtz that Liverpool are getting Xabi Alonso. Now they are speaking to Xabi Alonso, and Liverpool are going to turn it around. And Man United confirmed third. Man United are speaking to Tonali, and Man United are about to be a strong force again. This is their Di Maria summer. This is their. Do you remember Van de Beek when he signed for them? Oh my word. That was something. But listen, guys, we want to hear from you in the chat. Hit that like button, people. Big up everyone that joined us from the terrace. I want to hear from the people because there's a lot of voices since yesterday that are crashing it on Mikel Arteta as a coach. And by the way, friendly voices like Arsenal voices, they're crashing it. People that were behind Mikel Arteta. But before we do this, I actually want to, because not a lot of people listen to this. Jamie Carragher was spitting facts. I said about that this morning, but I wanted to actually everyone to listen to this. This is a very, very important message and a very important section that Jamie Carragher said about Arsenal and about Kepa and all the stuff. Because I think that Kepa, I genuinely believe that Kepa decision is what cost Arsenal the game, apart from them being shit in the game and the tactics and everything. But for everyone that is talking about Kepa, this is Jamie Carragher literally explained what I said yesterday. Let's hear this.
The first thing I said to you was I feel sorry for the lad because I know what he's been through with the Chelsea situation and twice and obviously missing a penalty in a game against Liverpool. But I have got strong views on this play in the second goalkeeper. I don't like it, but I can understand it in some situations. But Mikel Arteta does not owe Kepa anything. He owes Arsenal supporters the best possible chance of winning the first trophy in 6 years. They've won one trophy in 9 years. So the goalkeeper comes to the club because he knows he's second choice. Yes, he can play through the rounds, but once you get to the final, it has to change. For me, because they haven't won enough trophies and this team need to get over the line, and he owes it to the supporters more than he owes it to Kepa. Now, I know someone at home or yourself might say to me, but what about Manchester City?
What's the difference?
He does owe Trafford. He brought Trafford in at the start of the season to be the number one. Didn't think he was good enough and then brought Donnarumma in. Not easy for the lad as well. Okay? And also, they've won 4 of them. The pressure on Manchester City going into today to win another Carabao Cup is not the same for Arsenal. It's not. Or maybe there's another flip to that in terms of people might say Kelleher at Liverpool. The reason Kelleher, I used to get so many opportunities as well and playing finals, Liverpool were desperate to keep him. They didn't want to lose him. That is not the point with Kepa. He signed for the club because he knows he's second choice and he's not good enough for the top level. We've seen that at Chelsea.
This is, to be honest with you, I was thinking about, I'm like, this is spot on. And one of the things that he said, right, that is spot on, is Mikel Arteta owes the Arsenal fan the best possible lineup. Because I said yesterday, and when I was recording the videos, like, if we are talking about he owes Kepa, as he said, why didn't he play Madueke? Madueke started the cup game, not Saka. He owes Madueke. Madueke was the starting right winger. Why doesn't he play? Why doesn't he play Norgard? Norgard started some cup games. Why you play Zubamendi then? You gotta keep the same energy, right? You have to keep the same energy. Why don't you start Mosquera then? You gotta keep the same energy, right? Why not? Why only the goalkeeper? Why you owe the goalkeeper the starting place? It's absolutely shambolic, and I think it comes from a place of arrogance. It comes from a place of an ego. He saw Pep Guardiola do it, and he wanted to. Yeah, Pep Guardiola is not better than me. It's Pep Guardiola is gonna play his second goalkeeper. That he's stuck with him. I'm gonna play my second goalkeeper. I believe it came from that. I believe that it came from a place of arrogance and ego. That you think that you are the same level as Pep Guardiola as a manager, and you owe your goalkeeper, the second goalkeeper, something, which is absolutely delusion. In my opinion, it's absolutely deluded. Tactics-wise, I took some screenshots. I wanted to show it to people actually. Because I was discussing this with Paz. Sorry, I'm speaking a lot. I was discussing this with Paz and the guys this morning, and I wanted to discuss it with you, right? Because I showed some screenshots about the spaces that there were for Arsenal, for this Arsenal team, right? Because a lot of people are saying, why were Arsenal shit in the build-up? I'm going to show you what I was talking about this morning, right? If we start in the first picture here, you see the spaces in front of Zubamendi and Declan Rice, right? You see, or Hincapie or whatever. This is where you create the angle. You see, between the four, you have to create the angle to pass. Zubamendi has to work as hard as he can to create an angle for the center backs and the goalkeeper. I remember when Pep Guardiola pressed Inter in the final, and Onana used to play. You remember, Onana used to play between the lines, like passes, dink it, and pass between the lines for Inter, right? This is what a ball-playing goalkeeper would do. You gotta do that, passing between the lines. Look at this again. There are space. There is like 15 yards or 10 yards between Haaland and Doku. This is where there's a space that Zubamendi should move to and should be able to absolutely receive the ball. This is it. Look at the space between Haaland and Doku right there, and look at how much ground Zubamendi has in front of him. If Saliba passes the ball in between, they got out of the press, and they are outnumbering City. This is it. He cannot. Why he cannot? There is a space right there between Haaland and Doku, and Zubamendi can receive the ball. It happens in every single team in the world. That space. But the problem is they weren't showing enough. They weren't showing. And the first touch of Saliba and Gabriel weren't good. This is what you do. The last one I'm going to show here. You watch Zubamendi. This is Hincapie on the ball, right? You see the distance between Man City pressing with 5 people. There is massive space where the referee is. If Havertz drop in, if Trossard drop in, if Zubamendi goes in that space, this is where you pass. But the problem, you know what Hincapie did here? I watched the clip. You know what Hincapie did here? He went backwards. He went backwards. He stopped the ball and went backwards again. Right? This is the problem. You get out of the press by taking, you pass that ball to Zubamendi where the referee is, and Zubamendi go and get it. This is it. Declan Rice as well. Why? Yes, I know we're talking about Zubamendi. Why is Declan Rice not being there? Why Declan Rice cannot receive the ball and turn? You're an engine. You are one of the best ball carriers in the league, right? You're one of the best ball carriers in the league. You got to do it. Forget going long. There were spaces for Arsenal, and the players were scared to take risk in passes. Arsenal players didn't want to risk that pass in the middle for Zubamendi to go. Zubamendi should be able to, if there is press, he should be able to win a free kick. He should be able to win a free kick. And I want to, with all due respect, before Assam comes in, with all due respect.
Yes.
Doku, Bernardo Silva, ACL Rodri, Semenyo, and Nico O'Reilly midfield should not be able to have that much control against Arsenal. With all due respect. Bernardo Silva is older. Rodri is coming from an ACL. Nico O'Reilly is a youngster. Right? Semenyo and Doku. And you're telling me that this team schooled Arsenal players yesterday? I refuse to believe it. If you told me that there will be that shit, you know what? I understand it if City won because, yeah, there is like a counter-attack goal or something like this. No. This is because you're schooled. Tactically, you were absolutely schooled. Big up Fonzie. Klopp said, I'm a manager and a human being. Who would I be if I told the kids he brought us here and now he cannot play in the final on Kelleher?
This is the thing for me. Here's
Can I respond to this before? Can I respond? Can I respond? I want to respond.
Yes, welcome
Number
to
one,
Judge. Go ahead.
Sir, number one, Fonzie, Kepa's not a
11
kid.
دقيقة ما حكيتش ولا كلمة. تفضل.
معلش. Kepa's not a kid.
Yes.
Kepa's not a kid, Fonzie. Kepa's not a kid.
It makes
He was signed
Fonzie
as a-
even stronger then.
No. You owe the kid, right? You don't owe the second goalkeeper. Second goalkeepers can sit all seasons on the bench. They get paid to do that. Kelleher, here is the difference. If Kelleher is not given a chance, he will leave to go to a different club to be number one. But Kepa is not owed anything. There's the difference when you sign, when you get a Kelleher, a goalkeeper. Mamarashvili is owed something.
He will be number one at another club. He was number one at
No, he won't. No, he won't.
He was number one at Bournemouth.
No, they wanted to move on from him. No, they wanted to move on from him.
Kepa could
Absolutely
easily
not.
be number one at Brighton, Bournemouth, Brentford.
No, he
clubs.
wouldn't. He's
Yes,
a
he
good
would.
signing. He's a good backup goalkeeper. You go to the final.
We are
you owe the
doing with
final to-
Arsenal exactly what we accuse Chelsea fans of, which is we're scapegoating. Kepa made that mistake. Yes, we all agree. But for the first 15 minutes, City were the dominant side. You have to ask yourself why City were the dominant side. You have to ask yourself why City were on the rise. You have to ask yourself why City was cooking Arsenal that much in the beginning of the second half. City deserved the goal in the end. Whether it was Kepa mistake or it wasn't Kepa mistake, City deserved the goal in the end because they were the team pressing. They were the team trying to create. They were the team attacking. Those first 15 minutes of Arsenal versus Man City in the second half, you have to look at it from the perspective of Arsenal came out very cowardly in that second half, didn't want to attack, they didn't want to create anything. Yes, of course, now we're going to sit here and go like, oh, playing Kepa was a mistake. But that's hindsight talk. Because if yesterday Havertz has a shot, and let's say Trafford lets it go into the back end of the net, I will sit here and go like, oh, Pep should have started Donnarumma. We cannot say Pep is a genius and Arteta is an idiot for the same exact decision. I get the Carragher explanation, but I disagree with it. Both of them are backup goalkeepers. Both of them are nowhere near the level of the starting goalkeeper. If Donnarumma is a 10, Trafford is a 5. If Raya is a 10, Kepa is a 5. Same thing. Same level goalkeeper.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
Okay.
Trafford is
If
better
Donnarumma's a
than
10,
Kepa.
whatever. Trafford's a 6. Tomato. And he ain't.
No, he's not.
We have seen James Trafford.
No,
this
he's not.
season
He's
get
better on
beaten.
the ball than he's not. He's better on the ball than Donnarumma. That by itself is a spot. By the way, shot stopping. He literally saved the 3 shots on him.
He's better
You're
on
wrong.
the ball. No one cares.
Factually, you're wrong.
I'm talking about shot stopping. It cannot be factually wrong because it's an opinion. I'm talking about shot stopping. So
He
I'm not
literally
gonna-
stopped the chances against them.
I'm not going to sit here and act that Guardiola is a genius for starting Trafford.
He's not
Meanwhile,
a genius.
Raya,
not a genius.
This guy is an idiot for starting Kepa. Both of them.
He's
started
an
their
idiot for
backup
starting. He's an idiot for
Kepa
starting
made the
Kepa.
mistake. Kepa made the mistake in the end, but for those 15 minutes of that second half, City kept building on the pressure and they deserved to score the first goal. So
But they didn't create a chance.
let's-
What is this?
let's assume they had all the possession. They had
Yeah,
literally
Habibi,
Arsenal,
you know that having the
they
position.
literally
doesn't-
had Arsenal boxed into their own penalty
Sam,
box.
City had all the position
Gyökeres
against you
was
and
playing
created
DM.
nothing.
That's how deep they were in the first 15
Yeah,
minutes.
Habibi,
Whether they created or not is not my point. Because I said the
it
same
is
thing when-
a point. It is a
I said
point.
the same thing when they came to Anfield. It's not about just creating clear-cut chances. It's about showing the intention. In the first 15 minutes, Manchester City showed the intention to attack.
So teams
and
win games by
Arsenal
intention.
did
Bravo. Don Hussam, bravo. Teams win games by intentions, people. Yes.
Actually, yes, teams do win games by intention. You want to know why? You know, I don't know why they win games by intention. Because if Arsenal showed attacking intent in those first 15 minutes, like City did, they wouldn't have even put Kepa in a position where he has to make that save.
So every time Liverpool, if you lose any game and you have all the possession and you smother the opposition and you don't create chances, but you get hit with a counter attack and the opposition score, I don't want you to say anything but Liverpool deserve the win.
Name a game where this happened.
I don't know. I don't want you to. I don't know now, but will happen in the future. Inshallah, we'll be working together. So, by the way, I'm not saying that Arsenal were good, but the mistake is what gift. Man City didn't create chances. What is this? They didn't have chances, guys. They smothered Arsenal. They were brilliant in the press. They were pressing Arsenal, everything. Without the mistake, City will not score because they had no shots on target.
In the first 15 minutes, Manchester
zero
City,
shots on target. Zero.
City, great. Manchester City were building up pressure. They were putting players in a position to make errors.
Define pressure. You
can trust your defense. You can trust Gabriel. You can trust Saliba. You can trust all these players.
But you cannot trust Kepa.
You're asking them to defend over and over and over again without an outlet, without an out ball, without giving them any breather. In that first 15 minutes, I remember exactly what I said. I went to Ashraf's watch along, and before he even conceded the goal, Ashraf was saying, you can trust your defense all you want, but they are building momentum. They are building up pressure. These are things that don't show up. I don't
disagree with you.
These are things that don't show up on a stat sheet. Because when I'm talking about intent and momentum, you cannot measure intent and momentum. You cannot measure these things, but you can look at it from the eye test perspective. First 45 minutes, Arsenal were the better side. They had the better chances. No one disagreed with this. They forced Trafford to make a triple save. We understand. Now the second half starts. In the first 15 minutes, the pressure and the momentum and the intent shown by Manchester City is why they ended up scoring that goal. And I believe because they were the only team that wanted to attack. By the way, this was the same exact thing that I said about Liverpool Arsenal at Anfield. Yes, in the end, we scored the free kick. But from minute 45 until minute 83, I think it was when we scored the free kick, we had like 65% possession. I'm talking about Liverpool here. We had like 65% possession. We only had one shot on target. Like we didn't have 15 shots on target against Arsenal. We had only one shot on target in those 30 minutes. But we were the team with the pressure, with the momentum, with the possession. Yes, we might have not created clear-cut chances, but the thing that you're missing is when you have Gabriel and Saliba, and when you have players like this, you aren't going to create clear-cut chances. Because guess what? Man United went away to Arsenal. They didn't create clear-cut chances. They had 3 world-class moments. Liverpool, when we played, we didn't create clear-cut chances other than the Wirtz half volley that Raya saved. So when you come up against a defensive unit like Arsenal, your benchmark is tell me the clear-cut chance, tell me the shot on target, tell me the moment that switched the game. But that's not how you measure it against Arsenal because they're an elite defensive unit. So it's not like when you attack Arsenal, you're going to create big chance after big chance after big chance because that's not the type of team Arsenal is. Because you're playing with 4 center-backs and in front of them 2 DMs. So of course they're going to be very difficult to break down. I'm not sat here saying that they forced Kepa to make 4 saves in a row. I'm saying in those first 50 minutes before Kepa made that mistake, City were the only team on that pitch that deserved to get anything. Yes, Kepa made that mistake, but we are doing today exact same thing that we blame Chelsea fans of doing, which is, we spoke about it after Everton. The ball went through Sanchez's leg, yes. But what about the rest of the team? What about Palmer? What about Caicedo getting cooked? What about all these players? I sit here today and I go like, what about Zubimendi? What about Saka? What about Trossard having his worst ever game in an Arsenal shirt probably I've seen in my life? All these players, we can just push to the side. Kepa made a mistake. Okay, Habibi, Kepa made a mistake. I agree with you. Mistakes happen. You're now 1-0 down. When did they score the goal? The 60th minute. There is 30 minutes left for you to score 1 goal against
No. Can we not go to that part? Can we go to stick to the first part?
But this is all part of it.
No. Stick to the first part.
The intent.
Sam, now I'm gonna I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna
talk about the 30 minutes.
I want to stick to the 15 minutes.
30 minutes after.
I want to stick. No.
It's my last sentence. Wait.
Yeah, Habibi, we're talking about Kepa.
You're shouting. It's my last sentence. Mo, I'm gonna be quiet after. It's my last.
I don't want you to be quiet.
You did a monologue. I'm not gonna talk about the.
I don't want to talk about that, bro. I don't want to talk. The problem
I'm
is
not
the
talking
idiots
about
in the
the
chat.
30
No,
minutes.
stop,
You're just
stop.
shouting for no
The
reason.
idiots don't
It's just my
understand
last
that I'm
sentence. Let me say
actually
it first.
not. Yeah,
Let me
حبيبي,
say
no,
it,
well,
طيب. You interrupted me. I'll just
Hussam,
say one
Hussam,
thing and then خلاص. I'll go on mute.
Go
That
ahead.
even the next 30 minutes proves my point about the 15-minute.
I don't give a fuck about that. I'm not going to talk about that.
Which is the
I
Arsenal
don't give a fuck.
intent. Which is the Arsenal intent. Because Arsenal started that second half so negatively.
Here is what you do. Here is what you normally do, Hussam. Here is what you normally do in football debates. Now you're doing exactly what I've known you for like 4 years. You are arguing a point that I never argued. This is the problem, people in the chat. This is what Hussam did. Hussam said stuff that I don't disagree with. I never disagreed with Hussam. Everything that Hussam said, I'm going to shake his hand and say you're spot on in your analysis because I said exactly the same. Because I literally, before Hussam speaks, I said that they were cowards. They didn't want to pass the ball between the lines. They couldn't get out of the press. And City were smothering them. Fair. Is that me glazing Arsenal? Absolutely. And any fucker that thinks that, you're a fucking idiot. You are ignorant and you're an idiot. I'm being serious, by the way. Anyone that thinks that I'm praising Arsenal, I'm not. I'm making one point. That you can have all the position in the world you want, right? And that is all about the Kepa thing. Arsenal were shit. And City were absolutely amazing against Arsenal in terms of the press and everything, which is a similar thing that I praised Liverpool. I'm very consistent. If we go back to the Liverpool analysis, I said that City had all the position. They smothered, by the way, I used the same exact words. They smothered Liverpool. Liverpool couldn't get out of the press. But at the end, you need to create something. You need to have a shot. You need to have the goalkeeper work. Because, see, but I have the same energy. I got the same energy, people. When Arsenal attack and they have 70% position against whoever team, but they have no chances that they got nothing, we sit here and we criticize Arsenal. We say it is on you to create the chance. Arsenal were shit. Let's move on from that point. Now let's talk about City and their chances. You can have domination. You can actually get all the first balls. You can prevent the opposition from playing football. You can be amazing in terms of everything that you do, apart from the final pass, the final touch, where you get the shot. City, before the goal they scored, they created, I think, 0.27 or 0.25 out of 5 shots. All of them were 0.03, 0.1, 0.02, stuff like that. 0.08, stuff like this. So the point that Hussam is making is correct, but that is not my point. My point is very simple. If on evidence, you haven't created anything for 50 minutes, you were so dominant, but the goal you scored came from an unforced error from a goalkeeper, logically speaking, it tells me that you can build all the... And we have seen City before, and again, I'm not saying that Arsenal would have won. City deserved the win because they were better. They took risks, right? But if it wasn't for the goalkeeper, we could have sat another 15 minutes with City dominating Arsenal, because I have seen City in multiple 45 minutes this season.
That's where we fundamentally disagree then.
I've seen City...
Because if a team is keep trying, eventually you're gonna break the door. By the way, we have forget City and Arsenal. We have seen this. We have seen this even with Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wanderers kept trying against Arsenal, and eventually a banging goal got them a goal.
Liverpool at the Emirates, 45 minutes, 70% ball position. Arsenal didn't get a sniff, but you created nothing.
Yeah, but we didn't have a single forward on the pitch that day.
You didn't create a... Haaland wasn't even a forward. Didn't even exist.
Haaland was crap. I agree with this.
Okay, so the point is, guys, it's very simple. If it wasn't for Kepa, what guarantees you that City will have a clear-cut chance?
You want that 15-minute period, صح? Let's address the facts now. I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. I'm on FOTMob. You can open new tab.
I literally opened it.
Okay. In the 49th minute, Haaland had a header that was blocked by an Arsenal defender. In the 55th minute, Rodri shot from outside and it was blocked by an Arsenal defender. In the 57th minute, Semenyo had the shot that was far away, but that's another attempt.
That's a very far away shot, huh?
Okay, yeah, no problem. I said it was far away. I didn't lie.
Yes,
Sharky in the 58th minute, just outside the small box and the penalty box, I forgot what it's called. Just outside that small goalkeeper box thing.
6-yard box, huh?
Yes, just outside the 6-yard box. Yeah, I don't know why I was about to say 18-yard box. Just outside the 6-yard box, he had a shot that was blocked. And then after that, Ake, also in the 60th minute, just before O'Reilly, had another shot that was blocked. The reason why Arsenal
None of them were even close dangerous to being goal.
The reason why none of them were close
Were
dangerous.
very close to being goals.
And the reason why the reason why none of them was close dangerous and the reason why none of them was a shot on target is because they were all blocked by the Arsenal defense.
Which is okay, so let me ask you a straight question.
All
You can
these
answer
5 moments that I brought
and
up.
you can answer a yes or no. طب خلاص
These 5
يا
moments
حبيبي
that
انا
I brought
اسالك
up.
سؤال واحد بقى. اسالك سؤال.
Let me say
If
the
there is
point.
any-
Let me
طب
say
انت
the
you
point.
made your point about the chances.
All
If there
these
is-
5 moments that I talk about is the thing that I refer to as intent
Okay.
and momentum.
But anybody can do that. Anybody can take shots and get blocked and everything. By the way, Liverpool do this, City do this. If there is any team you trust to defend for 45 minutes and keep clean sheets in the world, who's that team?
Right now, yeah, Arsenal, of course. I will never deny
That's
that.
my point, guys. That's my point. My point about this is that, guys, people don't understand. I make the claim that Man City might have won the game, but the Kepa decision is what opened the door for City to win this game. And it's a decision that Arteta has to be held accountable for.
Okay.
That's my claim. My claim is Arsenal might not have won the game, but City could have gone 45 minutes without scoring if it wasn't for Kepa being there. City would have dominated Arsenal 45 minutes, but there is a big chance, because I have evidence of this, that Arsenal would not have broken down, because Arsenal haven't broken down before. They have defended a lot of times against, by the way, against City team, Arsenal have defended tons of times like this, and they actually prevented teams from scoring. They've done it multiple times. If it
I can
wasn't
give you
for
other examples, like when they went to Brighton away, Raya made an error, and Brighton literally almost scored from it. If it Baleba was just a bit more
I can tell you another evidence.
the other,
Okay.
I can give you
If you
also
do, if you, yes, I was gonna give you the reverse.
Didn't work. I can give you reverse examples where it didn't work, like Wolves away.
But
Arsenal,
I can give you another.
We
I can
called
give you
out Arsenal that day because we said
طب let me just talk about it now.
they were 2-0 up. We said me and you both.
I can tell you another example.
Me and you both called them out. We said they stopped attacking. They stopped creating chances. They allowed Wolves back into the game, and they couldn't defend. Forget for 45
absolutely. And I can give you another
minutes.
example of City dominating teams and doing the exact thing they did, but at the end, the team gets one attack by a mistake, and the other team win 1-0 against City.
Nottingham Forest, no problem. I admit this.
Chelsea second. City.
No, but Chelsea were
dominated
better in the second half. We cannot.
They
we're
weren't
not gonna
Chelsea didn't dominate City in the second half.
No, they didn't dominate, but they were the better side. They had the better chances.
But I can
not
give you the
just
same.
one
I can give you the same. I can give you the same example. The problem is, people in the chat, you didn't understand. I'm not defending Arsenal. I am literally slaughtering Mikel Arteta for choosing Kepa. And I will say this: if it wasn't for Kepa, there's a chance that Arsenal would not have conceded that goal. Simple.
Okay, I'm
Anybody
gonna
that
play
wants to
your
say
scenario.
otherwise is fine.
I'm gonna play your scenario right now. Okay, let's do this. Raya was in net. Okay, Mo is 100% right. The first goal doesn't happen because Raya will simply collect that cross. Hello. Now let's assume for the next 30 minutes, Arsenal proceed to play the same exact way. Who's more likely to score, City or Arsenal?
City.
طب that's the point, ya habibi. That's the point. And the problem from an Arsenal perspective was an even bigger problem. Let me tell you the bigger issue. The bigger issue is not defending, Mo. You know this. Because Egypt did this in the AFCON final. Because many times we saw this. The problem is never defending. The problem is defending without an outlet. They didn't even allow Gabriel and Saliba and the Arsenal defense
But I
to
think
breathe.
that goal killed everything for
They
us.
didn't even allow them to breathe for 2 minutes. It's directly City attack, City attack, City attack, City attack. Because as soon as Arsenal got the ball, directly they lost it or misplaced the pass. And that part is not on Kepa. That part is on the Arsenal.
But the problem
that
with
part
me
is on the Arsenal width. That
yes.
part is
I
on
don't disagree
Mikel
with this.
Arteta subbing off Kai Havertz without having a 10. طب ما انت all season you've played with a number 10.
And I agree
Keep
with
Havertz
you.
on the pitch. That's why I am not going to blame the loss on Kepa. I am not going to blame the result on Kepa. I am going to blame the players that also are on, because I'm keeping the same energy, just like you're keeping the same energy. I'm keeping the same energy to Chelsea, to Arsenal, to all football clubs. Because guess what? A Chelsea fan in the chat could easily come
I
here.
want to
after
separate both. I have to
a
separate.
Chelsea
I
fan
can't.
can easily come.
I can't.
Chelsea literally had. I'm gonna go look at it right now. I know what
People are really like, hold on. People are really people
people in the
cannot
chat,
think in different avenues. The problem is I want to separate the Arsenal performance, which is I criticized a lot and I think it's disgraceful. And I think it's a disgraceful approach to the game from the Kepa decision. And I think they're both separate.
Okay, حلو. In the first
I'm gonna
half,
tell you one. I'm gonna give you one more.
Prove my point. In the first half of Everton Chelsea, Chelsea had a higher XG than Everton. In the end, one pass behind Fofana, Beto scores 1-0. Someone could easily come here and go like, this game is on Fofana. If Fofana doesn't make that error, we could have won that game. But that's not how football works. Because it's not just about one moment.
Yeah, Habibi, because the same play happened before.
You are minimizing the whole game to one error.
Yeah, no, you're accusing me of stuff and you're not letting me respond, and I don't like this.
Okay,
I need to separate.
Accusing you. This is what I'm accusing you. I'm going to let you respond. I'm accusing you of these things, and then I'm going to mute my mic. I'm accusing you of blaming the result on Kepa, and I'm accusing you of minimizing the 90-minute game on this one moment. Here we go.
Okay, couple of problems. Number one, we need to separate the performance of Arsenal, which is, I think, Kepa being there is part of why Arsenal sucked in the build-up. Because Raya is much better than Kepa in terms of like long passes and delivering. Okay, let me, see, I'm not going to speak for a while. Sam, turn on your mic. Do we agree that Raya is much better than Kepa in the build-up from the back?
Yes.
Okay, so I think that there is 20 to 30% of Arsenal failure is because Arteta is an idiot because he didn't understand. I know Arteta didn't think that City will press him like this. So the problem is Kepa is so shit and Arteta was stubborn. The problem is Kepa couldn't bypass that press with passes. That happens in a lot of clubs, by the way, when your goalkeeper can bypass the press with a pass. And Kepa couldn't do this for Arsenal. So 20 to 30% of the reason why Arsenal sucked in the build-up play is because the goalkeeper they have is actually shit in passes. He's not great. Okay. Number two, I think that if Kepa doesn't make that mistake, the longer it goes, I refuse to believe that Arsenal will stay 45 minutes defending like this without even an outlet. There will be something that is different. Martinelli would have come on. Someone would have come on. Right? City, I'm not taking anything. People that don't understand, I'm not taking anything away from City. City, even after the goal, they were the better team. Arsenal couldn't get out of the press. Arsenal couldn't do anything because Arteta didn't make subs until the second goal. If you guys remember, because again, I'm giving Arteta a -5 in this game of game management. Tactics, subs, game management, players' choice, positioning on the pitch, everything. But I think that one of the main things in this game is building from the back for Arsenal.
Arteta and Kepa, what blame do you give to Kepa and Arteta? So if I were to, like, let's remove that decision to start Kepa. So if I want to put Kepa and Arteta, blame them out of 100.
I think it's a 50-50.
Okay, and the reason why is where we fundamentally disagree.
Can I explain this?
Arteta is 90%
I want to explain.
In that game.
I want to explain this. I think Arteta's 90% because he chose Kepa, so I agree with you.
No, I think Arteta's 90% because of his in-game decisions.
So let me explain to you guys why. Yes, Arteta might be blamed, but the problem is for me, I actually think that if Raya is there, Arsenal wouldn't look the shit in the build-up. Do we agree on this point at least or not? Do you think that Arsenal would have looked that shit in the build-up?
Yes, but the build-up isn't just the goalkeeper, Mo.
Yeah, but the goalkeeper is a massive part of the
build-up. Do you agree Zubimendi was shit?
Yeah.
Okay, great. But if Raya was there, Zubimendi was crap anyway.
No, but Raya can bypass him. There is plenty of times.
Okay, Zubimendi is the main midfielder in the midfield that is part of the build-up.
Yeah, but Raya would have bypassed him. Right? Yeah, Habibi, it happens all the time. Raya would have bypassed him.
Were the Arsenal centre-backs good in build-up?
They are good. They're not terrible in build-up, but I think Kepa played a big factor in it.
Final.
Maybe I'll revise it. I think it's maybe 70% Arteta, 30% David Raya. You wanted to separate the decisions. I think it's 100% to Mikel Arteta the game. The reason why, because you chose Kepa. I think it's 100% to Mikel Arteta.
Okay, you said the reason why you chose Kepa. My reasons are different. Now, you spoke about Gabriel's build-up. You just brought up Hinchcapia's build-up and Ben White's build-up and Zubimendi's build-up. These performances cannot be
by a fucking long ball, accurate long ball by Courtois. That's how they fucking beat your press. By a long ball from Courtois to the guy that took your players from halfway line, huh? So it proves my fucking point that when you press, the goalkeeper delivered an inch perfect pass that bypassed your fucking press. But because Kepa's an idiot, he couldn't. And Gabriel is a bozo. It's literally the reality. This comment proves everything that Mo's saying. That because because Kepa's there, it proves my point. You literally gave me the out. Thank you so much for this. You literally gave me the out. Thank you. I shake your hand. I'm done. Courtois, long ball, accurate one touch, 1-on-1, which is Man City were playing a high line and every fucking long ball was off. Thank you so much.
Chelsea, City fans, you know, obviously, Mr. MCFC there, that's the worst example you could have brought up because Valverde literally ran from halfway line. So this is literally the worst example you could have brought up ever. But look, for me, all those players were also bad in build-up. So it's not just on the goalkeeper.
Can you tell the people in the chat that I'm not defending Arsenal? That I'm actually critical because they think I'm defending Arsenal. Literally. They think I'm defending Arsenal, which is ridiculous.
No, he's not defending Arsenal. But at the end of the day, I don't want to just skip Goat Kepa because it reduces the stinkers of the other players.
Yeah, I agree. Now I want to talk about other players. Now
and the thing is for me that I just don't get. And now so before we do the supers and move on as well to just carry on, bro, it's the 60th minute. It's a final. You concede now the first goal. خلاص Kepa makes an error. فهمنا. You concede a goal. Immediately, then and there, make the substitutions and change your approach.
Yeah,
but instead, now 5 minutes after, also City are attacking. So what's the point of view as a manager in a final?
Go hard. Okay, now I'm going to do the super chats, guys, and I'm going to move on to Ba'a because there are some players that need a lot of criticism. And it's dark. It is really dark, by the way. Arsenal are the most risk-averse champions in a while.
I agree with this. They are risk-averse.
Watching the game yesterday, there is plenty of times where the center-backs wouldn't take the risk in passing, which is something that I've said many times. Gabriel, I've spoken about this with Hussam yesterday. Gabriel, you can call him the best center-backs as much as you want, but being a good center-back in the modern era means this is not 1996. This is not 2004. This is not the Carvalho level or, you know what I mean, like the center Lucio stuff. You need to be very good on the ball. That's why I rate Saliba hard than Gabriel. And no one is going to... Gabriel can be great if he scores corners. Once he stops contributing offensively, you are a good defender. But you need to build from the back. You need to be able to pass the ball. This is why when I say that great defender, you can be a great defender, but to play for top teams, you're going to have ability on the ball. Being back up for Donnarumma doesn't mean he's into a good goalkeeper. He was unfortunate they bought Donnarumma. He would start for any team in Europe. He's a 7 or an 8 out of 10. That's about Trafford. That's to respond to you.
I disagree. He definitely wouldn't start for any team in Europe. He definitely wouldn't. Guys, Trafford was a goalkeeper at Burnley. In the first 3 games he played, I will never forget, I love when people change the narrative. The reason why, Martin changed his mind on City winning the league is because they signed Donnarumma to begin with. He came out and he said, there are 2 Manchester Cities, one pre-Donnarumma and one post-Donnarumma. Before you make a comment like this, Hussein Al-Musawi, thank you for the super chat, Habibi. Go watch Manchester City versus Spurs and go watch Manchester City versus Brighton. Start for any team in Europe is crazy. Trafford is not better than Alisson. He's not better than Raya. He's not better than Sanchez. He's probably Vicario level. That's...
What?
Trafford.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Vicario level is crazy because I think Vicario is the worst goalkeeper in the league, actually, after watching him for 2 years now for Spurs.
It's crazy.
Arteta obsession with Chelsea rejects is a disgrace. One of the things I don't understand is...
أنت راح عليك اليوم Callum Sanderson. Madueke has been better than Salah, apparently. Crazy.
What?
Today's Avengers stream was epic, wallahi. Big up Callum Sanderson. Big up Callum, man. Big up. Madueke has been better than Salah. Guy came on in the final, literally made a negative impact on his team, was dribbling it.
I think this is the stupidest opinion I've heard in a while, that Madueke is better than... Guys, Salah has more GA than Saka even this season.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
what
Salah
do-
is better than current Saka easily.
Arteta's obsession... Bro, I'm going to tell you something about this netweed. Madueke is a good backup. You know what the problem is with Arsenal? Is your starting... Okay. If your backup is bad or your backup is average, that is expected, right? But you cannot have your starter is average and your backup is more average. That means doesn't help you. Like, it is okay to have Savinho as a backup if you have a top class winger as a starter. It's okay to have Ben Doak as a backup if you have Salah at his prime as a starting. You know, it's okay to have Chiesa as a backup if Salah is firing. The problem happens when your starting one is not firing and your backup isn't firing as well. First 15 minutes, Osam must have watched a different game. He's talking about the second half. AMG, he's talking about the first
half. AMG Gunner.
Habibi, he's talking about the second half, not the first half.
Second half, bro. Second half. Calm down. No one is talking
What about
the first
what about
half.
this-
Arsenal was better side. I said it already.
What about the second goal? Plus, don't tell me Raya doesn't make mistakes like that against Wolves. So the cross from Nunes and Semenyo were not chances. So as City make a lot of mistakes, Adam. We cannot go. We cannot actually get the exception. Kepa is prone to make these mistakes. His positioning was completely wrong, and his decision was wrong. And it's not only about Kepa's decision in that goal. Kepa's decision in terms of passes and stuff was shit. That's the reality. Sam, do you realize Gabriel didn't trust Kepa?
Yes,
I
but that's
didn't
not an
realize.
excuse because Zubimendi was hiding, because Hinchcape was making the wrong decisions, because Ben White was making the wrong decisions. These are all things that happened on the football pitch because you had no number 10, so no one showed for the ball. No one dropped deep. I've seen even Verts drop deep this season to try to collect the ball.
Ponzi's spot on it. How do you even know that?
Yeah,
Who did Gabriel tell you this? Like,
he didn't trust.
I'm not sure if he doesn't trust Kepa. Yes, you could say we lost to Everton at home because of Pickford mistake, but I don't see it that way because we were trying to win. I think that is the point that Osam is making. This is a good point, Sean. It's a very, very good point. I'm not sure why Arsenal weren't trying to win in the second half. Is actually ridiculous. They weren't even trying to win.
I don't
because
think Arsenal showed offensive intent at all.
they showed zero intent. I actually have actually way worse take than this.
What?
It's not the intent. You know the difference? I'm gonna tell you guys the difference. You know is worse of not showing intent? Not being able to execute while you're supposed to be the best team in the league. Forget the intent. Anybody can show intent. Anybody can show intent. You know what's worse? Because I think Arsenal couldn't do it. I think it's way worse than the intent. Because you can try to do counterattacks. You can try to play the ball long. I think they couldn't even do it. Which is, for me, for a team at that level, I think we can say that, you know what, Burnley played City and they couldn't do it, which would be acceptable. They couldn't execute anything, which I think it's way worse on a manager like Arteta and a player like a Rice, Zubimendi, Nkapia, Havertz, Saka as well. You cannot tell me that City, with Nico O'Reilly as a left back who played in the middle, Nunes, Ake, Kuzanov, Bernardo Silva, Semenyo, Doku, crippled you from actually having any sort of passing ability. It's the problem is, forget the intent. You couldn't execute simple passes. By the way, there is a couple of times where you watch Kai Havertz, who's running in the middle, Kuzanov comes and tackles him. Okay, how are you a top player and Kuzanov just comes from behind you and tackles you? There is another one where Kai Havertz was just running with the ball and he literally just went close for him.
I think he should have kept Havertz on the pitch.
That's intent. See, that's intent.
Because
but I think
as
the problem
said, when we speak about Arteta, just take off Zubimendi and put on a forward, bro. It's a final. There's no return leg. There's no other game. It's not like today, you lose 2-0. Hey, we're going to take them to the Emirates in the next round. You don't know what's going to happen. This is it. Like 30
Yeah, I don't
minutes
know
now,
what we was
win
thinking.
a trophy. This is it.
You know, my problem with people thinking that I'm defending Arsenal here. Here's a crazy idea, Arsenal fans. Let's win some trophies first and then shoot chest, eh? Good idea, eh? Let's hop a bit on the sane side of reality, eh?
I disagree with this as well, Netweed, because last season we lost the Carabao Cup final and went on to win the league anyway. And we lost it against Newcastle, not even Man City. The thing as well that people need to understand is Arsenal and City's next Premier League game is like in a month almost. Like Arsenal's next games, yeah, watch this. Just for the people who might not know, yeah? I'm going to tell you the dates of the games as well.
Look at
Arsenal,
this.
FA Cup, April 4th. Champions League, April 7th. And in April 11th is your first Premier League game. Imagine. So you're looking at the next Premier League game in literally almost what, like 20 days? So it's a long time until you get your first game. So it's going to be a long time, bro. So we don't know yet the mentality and all this. Yani for us, we lost to Newcastle and went on to win the Premier League. As a matter of fact, our March was even worse. We lost to Newcastle and we lost to PSG in the same month. But then we went on to win the Premier League. So, yeah. No, I'm not dismissing it. That's why I said keep Havertz on the pitch. That's literally the reason why I said keep Havertz on the pitch. I think Havertz should have stayed on the pitch, and I think he should have taken off Saka and Trossard both. Saka was dreadful.
You didn't have Eze, you didn't have Odegaard. What is stopping Saka from playing? What is stopping Trossard from playing? What is stopping Havertz from playing? What is stopping Gyökeres from having anything? Okay. What is stopping Saka? And by the way, you can be upset as you want, Arsenal fans. You can be whatever. Saka this season, you can tag me in all the stats on Twitter. You can DM me stats. Saka's first this, Saka's first that. He doesn't have good numbers this season in terms of goals and assists, and his performances are not good. This is the Foden situation now.
Yeah.
It's a Foden situation.
Has better numbers than him, fact.
It's a Foden, by the way, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this for every Arsenal
Salah that all the Liverpool fans want to go. Literally.
Same. Arsenal Football Club, Liverpool Football Club, Man United Football Club, Inter, Juventus, Milan, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern, Man City, doesn't matter who you are. Chelsea, if you call yourself a big club, there is no one that is guaranteed a position on the team because they did something before. If Saka's not performing, and I said this yesterday on our show with Romario, I said the Arsenal, I'm going to say something. You should go and show intent in the summer to actually go and get a top player in the forward line. And I mean a top player.
By the way, because no banter. I don't think Chelsea is part of those clubs because of their transfer strategy. I'm not even bantering. You know when I'm laughing? The reason
why I didn't say Chelsea, Carefree Lewis, for just one reason, to be honest with you. Your ownership literally has destroyed everything you know about this club.
This is not on the fans or anything. This is blue
by signing 9-year contracts for players that are not worth it to be there.
Remember what we said about Maresca and Semenyo, by the way? As soon as it was announced Chelsea wants Semenyo, literally 8 hours later, Chelsea don't want Semenyo. And then Maresca, day after, says it's been the worst 48 hours of his Chelsea career. And one of the things Lewis wanted them to be serious, but they refused.
And one of the things that you did, that Lewis, you just said, is that you know and I know that there are people that are knocking on the manager's door, forcing him to play some minutes for players that don't deserve to play in the games because of the value. You know that. You know that for a fact, right? You know that for a fact.
Because basically they want to sell Garnacho.
So that means your club is doing everything that I'm about to say that shouldn't happen at a football club. If Saka's not performing, Arsenal should show intent and go buy someone else. No one. Because you remember when Martinelli had, Sam, you remember this, you had him. I'm not sure if we had MHF at that time or not. Yeah. But I'm going to, guys, remind you people in the chat. Guys, we have 79 likes and we have almost 350 people here. Guys, we need like 200 likes. You remember, Sam, when I told you that it's too risky for big clubs to hope that a player would come back to their old form if it has been a year or two?
Yeah.
You remember when I told you this about Arsenal, when I said that they should move on from Martinelli, and every Arsenal fan, they said, he had a 22 GA season in 22-23. He can go back to this. I said, he can. And also there is a possibility he won't. And at that time, you'll be sitting there and saying, I hope that I signed someone. I hope that we signed someone. I said to Arsenal fans on the football terrace here on Footy George Mo, on Don Osam, I said one thing. You cannot rely that someone will go back to the... What if, for example, Liverpool...
They've been saying, what if Martinelli goes back to his level for the last 5 years?
Liverpool fans can sit here in the summer and say, we don't need midfielders. We won the league with these three in the middle. What if... And then every time we say that Liverpool should sign him, what if Szoboszlai and McAllister and Gravenberch go back to their best? And then comes the season, and if they don't go back to their best, you're fucked up. You fucked up big time.
Yeah.
You have to wait until January.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I think the Arsenal, and I said that to Romario yesterday, especially Arsenal, don't buy defenders, don't buy midfielders, because you still have Odegaard and Eze. Your midfield is good. It's not bad. And you have Eucharist, whatever. You have Saka. Go and put 100 million bid for Desiree Doué. Put 100 million bid for Kvaratskhelia. If Liverpool are going for Elise, you battle Liverpool for Elise. Intent. That's called intent. You go and bid 100 million for Julian Alvarez. Sign a superstar. Sign a superstar. Try it. I think you should. We'll get rejected. No, you won't. No, you won't. Because we're gonna have we have. Why there is a? And I wanna ask Arsenal fans something. I wanna ask Arsenal fans something in the chat. Okay. Seriously, guys. Is Saka beyond criticism?
He shouldn't be. No player should be beyond criticism, ever.
Is Saka, I want to ask this to Arsenal fans. Is Saka beyond you criticizing him?
That shouldn't be the case. At all, by the way. At all. No player should be beyond criticism, ever, in any scenario.
Foden is not Foden is
we
not.
criticize Foden all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we literally criticize Foden all the time.
Salah is not beyond criticism. Palmer is not beyond criticism. Is Saka beyond criticism? I'm asking that. Is Saka beyond criticism? No, he's not. No one. By the way, is Rice beyond criticism?
No.
No one is beyond criticism. If Rodri can be criticized, why not Rice? Why not Rice?
Do you agree with this, though? Because this has been one of the messages sent by a lot of Arsenal fans. Do you think he's been run into the ground and he's tired and all this?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But I think
what
he needs
the reason for his form?
I think they need to change the way they play for Saka to actually thrive again. Because one of the things that I noticed yesterday is Saka's been asked to cut inside past two players. Well, if I watch Lamine Yamal or I watch Dembele, if you dribble one guy, you have free spaces to run. I don't think he's run to the ground. I think he's a good player. I just think there is so much, you know what I mean, of being asked of him. And I don't think Saka's not Dembele. He's not as quick as Dembele. He's not as fluid as Dembele. He's not as fluid as Kvaratskhelia. He's not. So he needs a certain way of playing to be able to strive. Right?
Yeah.
And I think that way Arsenal play isn't actually the right way for him to play. And also there is maybe so much pressure, as people say, on him. And by the way, Saka yesterday looked much slower than before. Saka used to be the quick guy, remember? Saka used to be the sprinter for Arsenal.
He used to have like acceleration burst of
acceleration. Speed. Saka's slower now. Saka cannot run past players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, is actually now Arsenal need. The problem is if we go down that route, now Arsenal need a complete new front three. And that tells me that Arteta is the genius of winning the league with this front three again.
Yeah, but that's why I'll never forget this. That's why I said what I said, Mo, about like, you know, the whole can they win this and can they win that and can they win the quadruple and blah, blah, blah. The reason why I never backed it and when the whole winning the quadruple thing is because I don't think they have a standout forward. I don't think without the standard forward you can win a quadruple, bro. I just don't think you can.
I said it many times. Arsenal need a superstar. You don't like it.
Standout forward at least. Yeah.
I said need a superstar forward, not in the middle, forward.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's what I said anyway.
And by the way, that star forward might not be a Rodrigo. They need a Dembele. They need a Kvaratskhelia. They need a Harry Kane. I'm not sure if it's Olise. It's somebody different. You know what? I want you to imagine, remove Eucharist yesterday, add Harry Kane. Just go long. Harry Kane on Kuzanov and Ake. Just go long.
To be honest, I know I'm in the minority, but bro, I'm not even lying. Like, I just don't think Gyökeres was bad at all. I just think they didn't create him anything. I think
but he's not. He doesn't strike fear. He doesn't.
Bro, he dropped. He linked up play well with the wingers, in my opinion. They just created nothing. He made multiple runs. They couldn't find them. I'll be honest, like, bro, if I thought the striker played badly, I would say so. But I just don't think Gyökeres did anything wrong, bro.
Do you think you will win against Arsenal in the semis if you get past Liverpool? If you get Arsenal another time at Wembley, Arsenal will lose again. I want to ask Osam this. Do you think Arsenal lose again? Do you think Arsenal lose again?
The way Arsenal win the FA Cup is if they face Chelsea in the final. Because Chelsea's record at Wembley is dreadful. Chelsea's record against Arsenal is dreadful as well. And do you know Chelsea's been slapped at Wembley like the last 6 times? You know that, right? They lost to us 4 times. They lost to Leicester as well. They lost to Arsenal as well. Last 6 times at Wembley, they've been slapped.
I'm going to tell you, Chelsea play... Hold on. Oh, no. Chelsea don't play... Chelsea play Port Vale and then they play City at home, right?
Yeah, they play Port Vale.
But at home.
Yeah, Port Vale. يعني فرقت Port Vale.
Well, you never know.
It's Port Vale. Yeah.
You never know.
Are we seriously thinking Port Vale could beat Chelsea? Is this the level now? Do you know how mad that is? Port Vale.
I don't understand that. You don't understand that Liam Rosenior is just...
By the way, guys, we are 2 subs away from 12.5k. Subscribe with your mom phone, your dad phone, your brother phone, with your home TV. Can we get to 12.5k, please, before the end of the stream? If you haven't yet subscribed, just subscribe, bro. Take your sister's phone and subscribe from it, your brother's phone. Get us to 12.5k. Subscribe from your burners. Yalla. Let's go to 12.5k tonight. Let's go.
Many people were questioning Pep, but he answered his critics by outclassing the manager of the best team this season. Goal celebration by Pep was wild. I actually disagree with this.
Many people were questioning Pep Guardiola. Many people were questioning Pep. You're in 2nd place, 9 points behind, mate. That's what they're questioning.
And you lost
by the way,
5-1.
did you know many people are questioning Slot? If he beat PSG, we're going to continue to question him, Andy. So what?
Guys, I want to say something. Him winning against Arteta, it has nothing to do with his... So if Arteta... imagine if Arteta... I want you to flip it, okay, right? If Arteta were 2nd behind Pep 9 points, and they reached the Carabao Cup final, and they got knocked up 5-1 by Real Madrid, but Arteta won against Pep. See, even though Arteta haven't won trophies before, wallahi, people will say Arteta needs to get sacked.
Yeah.
So I want you to flip it. Pep winning against Arteta... Pep is a great coach. He's a fantastic coach, right? He can come up with these tactics, amazing tactics. And he schooled Arteta. But that doesn't negate that he didn't have a good season this season with City with the tools he's getting.
He didn't. He signed one of the best centre-backs in the league and the best winger in the whole league. And he got the team became worse. They went from 2 points behind to 9 points behind, even with Arsenal dropping points. يعني Arsenal drew with Wolves and drew with Brentford مش عارف ايش, and still City are 9 points behind.
Now if Man City now go and win every game, there's 7 games left or 8 games left. Yeah. Now if Man City go and win all the game and they win the league against Arsenal, that's a response.
Yes, now we're talking.
But don't
Now
tell
we
me
say
that.
chapeau, respect, Pep.
Yeah, now don't tell me that he's gonna go win a game, lose a game, and then finish 5-6 points behind this dreadful Arsenal that he schooled in the final. And then you're telling me he responded to the critics.
Like you come
then.
back from the international break, you lose to Liverpool in the FA Cup, and then you draw the game after, and then you win one, and then you win the other, and then you draw again. Don't tell me Pep is a genius.
Look, we can do it, but FGS start
For God's sake.
for God's sake, start Raya Eze in attack. Well, I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna try to replicate Arsenal versus City in the final again. That's what I think is gonna happen. If both reach a semi-final, I think they're gonna try to do Arsenal, Chelsea, and City Leeds or something like this. Like I think it's better for viewership, you know. 29 was not the problem. Saka, Zubamendi, Trossard were. He and Eucharist was winning. By the way, the only one headers in the first. By the way, guys, don't run with the narrative. The only one the first and second balls in the first 50 minutes. After this, all the long balls went to Kozanov and Ake. Okay, but always City gets the second ball because those three Zubamendi was more. Those three and Zubamendi were more advanced.
Keep this. Netweed says Pep doesn't have to answer for project number 6 more. Who's asking Pep to answer for Arteta?
I don't like no one. I never said anything.
We're just saying Pep is 9 points behind after signing the best winger in the league and one of the best centre backs in the league. Like Mark Gahey, by the way, this season is possibly the 3rd best centre back in the whole league after Gabriel and Saliba. Literally, Mark Gahey is up there as being one of the best centre backs in the whole league, bro. So that's the thing. Anyway, the thing is with this is that the reason why I agree with this is for me, and this comes back to the argument, and even more in the end said 70-30, is because, bro, like even with Raya and Net, some of these players had such dreadful performances that I think City were more likely to win anyway based off the performance that I watched. Just like the Liverpool-Arsenal game where, yes, it was a free kick, but at the end of the day, we were the only team trying to do something. My problem with Arsenal, and it's so weird, you were the better team in the first half. Yahi, make an offensive sub. Yahi, stay on City's neck. City this season is not a confident side. City is a side that has been flustered many times, that have dropped points many times, that have bottled it many times. Yahi, we've seen Forest take points off of them. Go for it. Go for the kill. And for some reason, he decides to go ultra defensive approach. I don't know why. He concedes the goal. He makes the substitutions too late. And even the subs he makes for the 100th time. Let's say Havertz was having a 5 out of 10 game. Let's say he was having a 4 out of 10 game. You have no number 10. Eze is not there and Odegaard is not there. Keep Havertz on the pitch. At least he's a link-up player. Until you know their link-up went from like a little bit down the middle to completely gone off the middle. It became directly wing. Every single time they just started having wing play the whole game. And it didn't work. Madueke was running it out of play. Martinelli, what a fantastic player. I don't know where Marco is. Nelly stocks. No one's investing. He came in and his first contribution is he just ran out of play, bro. Like, but did you as washed up as Salah is and as bad as Gakpo is, like there are many wingers in this league. I'm not taking ahead of them. Like I'm not taking Martinelli at Liverpool. I'm not taking these players, bro. Like not taking Madueke. I'm not taking these guys.
I think the Bournemouth wingers, the Krupi and Ryan, these guys are better than Martinelli as wingers.
Yeah,
I believe these guys are. I believe in Dai is better than Martinelli. Like I believe that I think maybe Harry Wilson is better than Martinelli. There's plenty of wingers are better than.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think Arsenal will crumble from here?
No, I don't think, not at all.
What happens if Arsenal does crumble?
They won't crumble.
If they do, then what?
Then the whole team need to be sacked. Not only Arteta, they need to sell Rice, sell Zubamendi, sell Saka, sell Eucharist, sell Havertz, sell Gabriel, liquidate the whole club.
Yeah, get Kroenke to sell it as well. Might as well.
Like I believe that. I don't believe that Arsenal will crumble because I still don't trust City winning every game. That's the thing. Like I'm not even sure that City will beat Chelsea away from home. Like I don't think so. I don't think that City are gonna put enough pressure. Fonzie, I will reiterate. I think Saka's good, but at no point in his career he has been world class. He will be star boy at 57 years old. I'm going to tell you something, Fonzie. You know what? Saka's a good player, but I'm seeing no evidence now that back-to-back season, granted he was injured last season. He started the season well last season, but I don't think that he can be, he's not world class. He's not a difference maker. There is currently, as it stands, on form or whatever, there is like 5, 6, 7, 8 wingers in the world that are better than him.
Yeah, he's been pretty bad.
He's been bad, bro. He's been bad.
He's been bad to the level where there's people who literally want Madueke to start out from, bro.
Wallah al-Azim, I've seen people say Madueke props is crazy, bro. It's crazy. How did this Nate Wilderness become an Arsenal fan? Nate Weed is an Arsenal fan, so what is your problem? I don't understand.
It's okay for people to have a bit PTSD. I'll be honest with you. There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't understand. Do you think that people should not criticize Arsenal for the loss or something? It's like, should Nate Weed always
also,
have
German chicken wing. I completely disagree with you. It came at the complete wrong time for Arsenal, because guess what? Now, for the next 2 weeks, they will have this loss on their head top.
No,
I'll tell
absolutely.
you something right now.
What?
First, when Klopp first joined Liverpool, we had Man City back-to-back games. We played Manchester City at the Carabao Cup final, and then after that, we played Manchester City in the league. We lost the Carabao Cup final that day. But then immediately after, we lost on penalties. But immediately after, we beat them 3-0 in the league. Sometimes after a final like this, the thing that you need the most is an immediate comeback. Is an immediate step back so you can get over the final, in my opinion. But hey, I think the only reason why this is true is one reason: the injuries. That's it. And do you think the injuries will affect Arsenal?
يا عمي, they have a month to fix the injuries, bro. It's a month of Odegaard, يا عمي. Put the price in the bag, bro. What injuries? Are we talking about the injuries? They play in a month, habibi.
Yeah.
They play like in 3 weeks or something like. Okay, hold on. Okay, 1, 2. They play in 3 weeks. Eze, what is wrong with Eze? Huh? What is wrong with Eze? One more thing I want to say about the international break. I completely disagree with Osam. I think if they didn't have this international break, they would have actually fumbled maybe if they play Bournemouth away the next game. So no. Chernobyl level toxicity if we bottle the league from here. Trotsky.
Chernobyl? Habibi, you lose the league from here, bro. Arsenal Football Club, if you lose the league from here. Oh my. Brother, if you lose the league from here. I don't even have the words. I don't even have the words to describe what would happen on the internet. I can't see it happening just because City are bottling it as well. That's the reason why I can't see it happening, bro. But you lose the league from here, Habibi. Yo, big trouble, mate.
I think you like this is gonna fuck up the whole thing. I don't think people understand when I say it's gonna fuck up the whole. It's the whole. What is it called? What's the word I'm looking for? It's the mechanism of the whole thing is gonna fuck it up. Where the lack of forward passes a result of ability limitations and cowardness, or do we really think Arteta instructed his players to play like this?
You answer this one.
I think it's not clear instructions as you think, Antonio, but also in football, managers tell players, because I tell players to do the same. Sometimes, some games, I tell my players, don't take risks. Guys, let's try to keep the ball past the 5-10 yard passes. Don't take. I've been told this when I played football in some games, and I tell people this sometimes. Sometimes the instructions are just wrong, right? It's literally, guys, don't take risks. And that in players' heads, they're like, no, I'm going to pass the goal. This is, okay, here's the thing. Gabriel has the ball. In his head, there is two options. It's either I play that risky pass between the lines to Zubamendi, who might be under pressure, or I can turn and pass it to Kepa, who's free. Because the instructions, guys, try to maintain position, don't play risky passes. In my head, unintentional, I would turn and pass to Kepa.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I agree with your explanation. I think it's instructional, but it's not to the extreme that you're asking in the super chat. It's not like Arteta said, just pass back, guys. He probably said, let's play it safe, let's keep the ball, blah 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 blah. And in the
Keep
end,
position, guys, be in control.
it results
like
in
this.
the players doing that unintentionally. I agree with Mo on that.
It happens all the time in football, by the way. Like, bro, I've had other ones as well. I've had people tell people, like coaches tell people, guys, by the way, we don't want early crosses. Guys, only cross when you reach the byline, for example. You will see a player with a clear chance of crossing from outside the 18 to the right, but they would choose to pass and reach play the winger and go to the byline. And you'd be watching the game and you'd be going crazy. How is this guy not crossing? It's in his head. The coach told him, guys, we want to cross from the byline. It happens all the time. Hussam, after our draw to Sunderland win streak. What? What does that mean?
After our draw to Sunderland win streak. When did you play Sunderland? Bro, you beat Sunderland 3-0. What draw? I'm gonna need you to clarify here. I don't get what you mean. You don't even have to send a super chat. Just send a regular message so we can understand. You're going all the way back to November? Come on, man. Come on. Why are you going all the way back to November? بصير تركز معنا وتبعث مسجات بس تكمل حبيبي.
Yeah, حبيبي. That's the thing, Mo. At least mix it up a bit, but the players don't mix it up. Arsenal
didn't take enough risks at all.
But I have another thing, Nate. I don't think they're good enough. I don't think Xabi is a good enough player to mix it up. I don't think Gabriel is a good enough player to mix it up. What I mean by this, they are not able to take the risks that someone like a John Stones would take. They aren't Matthias Nunes in terms of passes. They aren't. By the way, similar to Kerkez. Kerkez is interesting. Like, you ask Kerkez to do a complicated pass. He's not that guy. You ask Nouri to take a risk. Nouri would take a risk. It's just a different type of player. Calafiori, for example, Netweed, would take a risk. Would take a risk in passes, would take a risk in movement, would take a risk going forward, in everything, right? That's the player he is. And he has a higher quality on the ball. Nkapie is a great defender. He isn't a great player on the ball. So under pressure, this is when you see the players that are better. Do you know what I mean? So that is the problem. Nkapie is all right. It's not great, you know what I mean? It's not great. So it's Calafiori is better. Nkapie has been fantastic for Arsenal in the way they play. But I think in this game, you needed Calafiori. In this game, you needed the fullback that is more adventurous, that will take risks. You didn't need the Nkapie. You needed Calafiori. You needed the guy that will take a lot more risks, actually.
And he did something going forward, to be fair.
Wanted City to have one trophy, and they were so happy coming and gonna.
There's no way you were watching that game wanting City to beat your own team. Come on, man. Come on, Kartan. Come on, brother. No one.
Don't be a fraudulent.
Stop being a fraud. You know, you didn't watch that.
Don't be a fraud, bro.
City want them to have one trophy. I think City will win the FA Cup. I'm still on that.
Domestic double versus Premier League. I think if you ask Arsenal this in the beginning, they would shake your hand. Yeah, we don't want the cup. We just won the Premier League. Ian Wright said it yesterday.
Yeah. If they win the Premier League, it's a successful season, regardless.
Guys, we haven't spoken about any other team. We'll talk tomorrow. I'm tired already.
تعبت خلاص براحتك.
Yeah, خلاص, seriously. We're gonna talk tomorrow, guys.
Champions Chelsea.
Tomorrow we got Ashraf and Quest. Quest is gonna defend Blueco and the Chelsea project and everything, and it's gonna be fantastic. You know, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be fantastic for them.
What do you think that world champions Chelsea are in a title race?
And this is why I've maintained the fact that I believe this team can go the distance in the title race, because this league is rubbed out. It's been shit for years. The problem is we've been on a rebuild during that point. But now this is our best opportunity to take advantage of that. The fact that the table toppers couldn't kill us, and meant to be mentality monsters, meant to be 90-minute merchants, all of that, they didn't have anything for us. 10 men or 11 men. That might be a bit more of a statement for us than for them.
You are coping at such a crazy level, MCFC. This is the biggest lie you have told in your life. If you tell me for the next 5 years I'm going to win every single domestic double versus win just 3 league titles, I'm choosing 3 league titles. Stop lying to yourself. Man, talking about, winning the domestic double is better than the Prem. That is such a lie, bro. Allow it. Winning in the Premier League and the Champions League is the ultimate goal for the big clubs, bro. This is such a lie. Why are you lying? Just own it as a City fan. Just own it. Go like, yeah, at least we left here with something. We won a domestic double. But, you know, that's not what we aim for as Manchester City Football Club. Don't sit here and lie. Man said, oh, I would take that. You're such a liar, bro. I love when people lie like this publicly as if like we ain't going to respond to it. Mo, would you take next season for the next 5 years Coppa Italia and Super Cup every single year? Do you take it?
No.
Mo? Why? It's a domestic double. Ah, exactly. Would you take 4 Serie A's out of the next 5?
I'll take 2 Serie A's over winning the cup every year.
There you go. Point proven.
I'm going to tell you guys something. I would take, in the next 10 years, I would take 3 league titles over 10 cup wins. And I'll stick for someone. I tell you, Sam would take 3 league titles over 10 FA Cup wins or Carabao Cup wins. Because but if you win 10 cups and you lose every league, it's worse than winning 3 leagues and lose every cup. What is this?
Because your attraction levels go down. Players don't want to join you. Also, since when does it matter the level of opposition in an FA Cup? Bro, you played Watford in an FA Cup final. No one remembers. No one says, oh my God, you played Watford. People say City won the FA Cup.
No.
Bro, allow it. Like,
Wallah.
level of opposition. You think PSG fans care that they played Inter and not Madrid?
Hold on. Let me tell you something.
Real Madrid played Dortmund in a Champions League final. You think that minimizes the trophy? It's a Champions League. Oh,
bro, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to give you even a scenario. If I'm beating Juventus 10 times in the cup final in the next 10 years and I'm beating them every year, and you're giving me this versus me winning the league 3 times over Cremonese as my title challenge, I would actually take the 3 league titles over the 10 cup wins.
If you tell me right now, Hussam, you're going to win the league next season, but your title challengers are Nottingham Forest, I'll go like, okay, give me the league. Yalla, I don't care.
Over him winning the cup, over him winning the cup against Man United, he would like, no, I won the league. What are you talking about, bro?
Arsenal
don't tell me.
It's like Leicester. They already have 3, mate. This joke doesn't land. This joke doesn't land at all. Allow it. Allow it.
Bro, Cremonese. Anyway. I'm not sure if there's anyone live, but
خلينا نشوف. اصبر. احكي بس 10 ثواني.
Yeah, I'm actually, listen. Why are you always like this? Why are you always like this?
Always like what?
Not you, Ponzi. I meant just for this season. We obviously winning it next season. I'm saying specifically this season. No. Jamie or LB, it's up to you. Or Dan Potts.
Send them to Jamie Phillips. مش قادر اطلع اللينك تبعه. طلعه انت.
I got it.
عيني طلعته.
Done. It's done.
Done. يلا.
Yes, I will see you guys on Jamie Phillips. We'll see you guys. We're out of here, people.